getting thrown in there at a moment's notice as the starter?
Yeah, Donald's had a lot of practice, though. He's been out there and he's practiced. And where he improved in Saturday's game, which was encouraging, is he played better in a game than at times he has in practice. And you always hear the guys or people say he's a gamer. We've never been fond of that because most guys that perform in practice perform in a game. And if a guy doesn't perform in practice, he usually doesn't perform in a game. But he's shown signs of improving and controlling his emotions in practice and getting better. And Coach Spencer had mentioned that when Ori got injured, he started coming in more and watching tape and studying. And we would like that to happen before the situation that we were in with Ori. But sometimes it doesn't. It's only human nature to say, wow, they're going to put this on me now. I better get ready. So hopefully the other guys will learn that in order to prepare yourself, you have to be ready. But he did a good job for what we asked him to do. And he runs side to side pretty well, and he hits. I thought that our safeties and our linebackers hit more aggressively than we have here in the last 5 years or how long I've been here. I thought they were more aggressive in hitting, which is good. We've talked about that for years around here, but we've never really got that accomplished. And so that's a good sign that our players are more physical.
Coach, how much of that is just their physical ability, their speed to be able to get there?
I think it's a combination of speed and also just a natural aggressive style. It's not normal to want to go hit something and hit it hard. So you got to be different. You got to want to strike somebody, and I think Johnny's shown signs of that, even though he's young. And I'm somewhat hesitant to bring this up because a young guy really hasn't done anything yet. I mean, he's made a couple plays, but he's a long ways from saying he's a legitimate player. Not that we're not excited about his future, but I mean, he just played one game. Lucian has hit people for a number of practices and games and spring games, and he did a nice job of hitting people. Booker's shown signs of that. Vic Johnson has shown signs of that. So I'm excited about that because there's still no substitute for being an aggressive, physical football team.
Along with what Booker did, I'm going to guess what Ori did on the sidelines on Saturday didn't go unnoticed. He kind of jumped into a coaching role.
Right. We don't normally have a injured player on the sideline because there's our sidelines there's not a lot of room, which is perfect. We want our fans to be able to touch the other team, and but the one downfall of that is if you're standing up there watching a game and something comes your way and you start to back up, there's usually hands in your back, and you can't back out of there. People are pushing and moving back, and so we were concerned about him being there, but he wanted to be down there. He wanted to talk to Booker and Pat and those guys, and he's a senior, and so made him sign off on a waiver that if something happened, that he wouldn't hold us accountable. But he wanted to be down there, so he did a good job for us.
Coach, you mentioned Lucian, considering what he went through, not getting to play last year. Could you feel a little bit for him getting to get out there and make a difference? I mean, he makes that hit when it's a tie ball game, and you get a feel for it.
Yeah, Lucian is a good person for our players to talk to because sometimes they don't understand what they have until it's taken away from you. And he had what he loved to do, which is play the game of football and be a part of a team, taken away from him. Even though he was on our team, when you're injured and you can't play, if you're a real competitor, you're somewhat isolated. And he had a tough time with that and went through stages where he wasn't having much fun. But he learned to fight through it, persevere, and come back. So he's a great story.
Did you ever think, Mike, you'd see a day where you've sold as many season tickets now, basically as the old stadium would hold? You're right around getting close to 46,000. And I guess the old capacity was 48,000.
I think I've got a great marketing department doing a great job there. No, I don't. Things are doing good around here, but what we have to remember is that as hard as it is and as difficult as it was and as fun as it was to get to here, it's even harder and more difficult to keep moving up. And I think that everybody involved has to stay focused because we still have a lot of work out there, but we're very excited about the people about the season ticket sales that generate money for our athletic department and help all sports, people that work hard and deserve an opportunity like football. But the fans that wore orange and were out there Saturday is pretty impressive.
But, you know, I guess when Coach Holder and others announced that they were gonna take this to 60,000,
Mhm.
there were a lot of people said, well, they've never averaged 40,000. What are they crazy? And now you're taking steps.
Well, I think that there's been, I don't know how to really say this, but there's been somewhat of an attitude probably for a long time around there that we couldn't do things in football. It's always been that way, but some people think that you can, and you don't stand up and say you can. You got to just start to show people you can, and then you just move forward. I mean, I believe that. We're not going to get up here and say that we're going to sell 60,000 season tickets and double our ticket price, but we're also not going to say that someday we can't.
Coach, how important that physical play you were talking about, is that to do this weekend against Houston, a team like the spread ball?
Yeah.
What type of physical defense you guys used to struggle
Yeah,
with?
it's every week, and we've tried to be a physical football team over the last 4 years here, and we want to be a physical football team now. As soon as they snap that ball in between the white lines and until that whistle blows, we want to be a physical football team.
Mike, you talked extensively about the build-up the last week's game, and then people will talk about the euphoria after the victory. How do you make sure your players get back to earth?
Where were you at?
I've been in Arlington.
Oh, how's the new stadium?
It's nice.
It's nice. Okay.
The video board makes you not want to watch the game.
Really?
You watch the video board.
Wow. Barry, just tell them the truth. Just say, look, guys, here's where you're at. We know there was a lot of build-up in this game, and we played better than anybody ever thought we would have on defense outside of the program. I'm not so sure the defensive players didn't believe in their ability to play that way. You'd have to ask them. And this team coming in is a good football team, and they're capable of beating any team in the country if they play to the best of their ability, and the other team doesn't play well, or the other team doesn't play the way they want to with turnovers and big plays, which play such a big part in the game. So I think we just tell them the truth and say, guys, you better get out there and practice and be prepared every Saturday.
Don't you say that most every week?
Yeah, I mean, it gets brought up in these media conferences, and everybody says, "Is this a big game?" They're all big games. We only get to play 14 of them a year. That's the most they'll let us play, and so these guys train about 340 days of the year. They take about 20 days off. The good ones don't take 20 off. They train 345 days a year to play 14 times. That's it. So they're all big ones, and they have to treat it that way. They have to understand it and realize the importance of you can't get it back. That's why team chemistry is so important. Your older players can be a catalyst and lead the way and teach the young ones.
Was Case Keenum a guy that a lot of people just kind of missed on, or was he always just kind of an Art Briles guy that Art was going to get?
I think I can't speak to his recruiting. I don't know what all was involved there, but it looks like to me a lot of people missed on him. I mean, if you're going to just go on how a young man has progressed and the type of career he's had compared to who offered him a scholarship, I think a lot of people missed on him.
So if you were in the Big 12, you'd be a household name.
I think he's pretty good. He's pretty good player. I mean, when I see him, I don't see why he couldn't play in this league.
Kevin Cobb was really good down there. Is he even better suited? Is Keenum even better suited for that offense?
Well, it's a different style of play, what they're doing now with Dana than what they were doing with Coach Briles, a little bit different style of play. But Kevin Cobb's a guy we talked about years ago in here that remember we said pretty good player.
I know you don't see him as much. You compare him like maybe to Reeson because they're about the same size.
Yeah, that's some good comparison. That's similarities there, yeah, because he moves around. The guy can move around and make some plays. Good. All right, thanks.